Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Lots to bring you on the show today, but before we do that, please do me a small favour. If you are watching the show for the first time today, please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and be sure to like the video. Right, honestly, the news is starting to come in thick and fast around Manchester United now, which is good to see. We're finally talking about some deals. Feels like things are moving forward, but I will say this from the beginning. We're 3 weeks away today until the Premier League starts. Why is it now that we're starting to do deals? I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, we're going to be talking about Ollie Watkins. We're going to be talking about Rashford. Bit of a strange story there. We're going to be talking about the goalkeeper. There's loads to get into, so I'm really excited to bring you guys the show this morning. But before we do all that, I want to get your thoughts on Ollie Watkins. Should Manchester United be bringing in Ollie Watkins? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is he the man to lead our attack going forward next season? A £60 million asking price for Ollie Watkins. Let me do a little poll, shall we? So we'll do this. Should United sign Watkins for 60 million? Anybody who's watching the video back on repeat, so not watching the video live, you can get involved in the comment section. Should Manchester United sign Ollie Watkins for £60 million? Let me know your thoughts below. I'm going to answer the question from the beginning. I mean, if he was like 5 years younger, I would say 60 million was a fair price. I think at his age, 60 million is a little bit excessive, realistically. Yeah, like he's not a £60 million player at the age he is. I think he's just about to turn 30, isn't he? But I don't know. It's a difficult one. I would say he's probably worth maybe 40 million would be fair. Something like that. Yeah, I would say 40 million is fair. 40 million I'd be happy with. Otherwise, I think we're just, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? To pay £60 million for a 20-year-old. Arguably, he is somebody who scores 15 to 20 goals a season in the Premier League, which is impressive, right? So you can't really disagree with that. But yeah, I just think 60 million is too much. So let me bring you the news first, and then I'll give you my opinion on it. So this is coming out from... Let me just have a little look who it's coming out from. It's coming out from Sky Sports. It's coming out from The Telegraph. It's coming out from Ben Jacobs. It's coming out from TalkSport. It's coming out from pretty much everybody, saying that apparently Manchester United have made an approach to Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. It says apparently they have quoted £60 million to Manchester United. I mean, you could get Benjamin Sesko for that. We could have got Gyökeres for 60 million. How much was Gyökeres? Let's have a look. Gyökeres. Was he 60 million? I feel like he was about 60 million. Let me check. 63.5 million pounds. Euros, Gyökeres was. So let's have a look. And he's, what, 3 years younger? Arguably, he's not Premier League proven. So Arsenal paid £55 million up front for Gyökeres. And Aston Villa are asking £60 million for someone 3 years older. Arguably, Ollie Watkins has done it in the Premier League, whereas Gyökeres has only ever done it in the Portuguese league. So, I mean, there's a big difference there. But, yeah. I would say like 40 million, absolute max. 40 million max. But yeah, I'd be very interested to get your thoughts on this one. How much do you think he's worth? How much do you think is a fair price? Would you pay 60 million? Let me know in the comment section. I would say 40 million would be fair. But it's just, it's always difficult to get deals like this over the line. Just because they're a Premier League rival, they're somebody who's going to be challenging for top six. Yeah, 40 million. Yeah, people in the chat are saying 40 million max. 40 million max. I would agree. 40 million max, tops. Anything more than that, I think we're probably... Yeah, I think we're probably getting robbed otherwise. So, all right. So, yeah, let me read out the other bits of news on Ollie Watkins. So, we have Ben Jacobs saying that Manchester United have made an official approach with Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. That's the first story. Then we have Sky Sports saying that United's interest in Ollie Watkins is now intensifying. We have Ben Jacobs again saying United won't move for Ollie Watkins if the price remains at 60 million, which I would agree with. And then we have a couple of other people who are saying that Manchester United's preference is to bring in an experienced striker like Ollie Watkins so they have Højlund who can learn off him. I mean, that makes sense. I think, you know, as exciting as Benjamin Sesko is, he is still a young player who may or may not turn into the player we think he might be, you know? Whereas at least, you know, with Ollie Watkins, like, he knows the league, he's experienced, he knows what he's doing. And that is a massive advantage, realistically. You know, it's better to bring in somebody who knows what they're doing than it is to bring in someone who doesn't, especially when we need them to hit the ground running. So, yeah, I get the logic behind it. I get the logic. You know, you bring in somebody for, not for 60 million, for 30, 40 million, you bring them in, they hit the ground immediately. Hopefully they contribute goals immediately. And, yeah, they help us get back to where... we need to be. Somebody says in the chat, Watkins played with Mbeumo at Brentford in the Championship. Watkins scored 25 goals that season, and Mbeumo scored 15. There should be a chemistry between them. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. I was going to come to that they'd obviously played together. So yeah, that is important. And obviously, like I said, the fact that he's played in the Premier League is obviously incredibly important as well. Somebody says, how old is Watkins? He's 29. I think he turns 30 in a couple of months. I mean, the thing is, though, right? Obviously, 30 is old, right? But Harry Kane went to Bayern Munich for 100 million at the age of 30, and he's still been doing well. So I don't think it's so much that 60 million is too much money. I just think that it's too much money in the sense that how many more years is he going to have at the top level? That's the risk. You never know. Ollie Watkins might go till he's 38, like Jamie Vardy did. How old's Jamie Vardy? Like in his late 30s? Is that right? Jamie Vardy is 38, yeah. Jamie Vardy got 9 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League last season, playing for Leicester. Rasmus Højlund got 4 goals in the Premier League last season. So Jamie Vardy had more than double the amount of goals at the age of 38 as what Rasmus Højlund did, and he was playing for Leicester, who got relegated. So age is just a number, you know. There is the possibility that Ollie Watkins could go into his late 30s still getting 15, 20 goals a season. You know, that's a possibility, and we would get 9 years out of him. But it is a risk, isn't it? Because that might not happen. He might come to Manchester United. Within 6 months, he might start picking up injuries, and then before you know it, we've just got another player in our injury room to keep Luke Shaw company, which we don't want, do we? So, yeah, I don't think his injury record's actually that bad, though, Ollie Watkins, if I remember correctly. Let me have a little look. I feel like he's got a pretty good injury record. Yeah, I mean, last season he missed 3 games with a knee problem, a muscle injury, and a muscle fatigue. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's have a look what his injuries are like over the years. I only seem to be able to see last season, but yeah, his injury record isn't bad at all. But it's always when players seem to come to Manchester United and they're a little bit older, suddenly they start picking up injuries, don't they? I don't know why that happens. Is it our poor medical team? Is it... I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't think any of us know the answer. But for whatever reason, we do seem to just keep picking up injuries as our players get older. So, yeah, who knows? But anyway, let's move on from there. Let's talk about the goalkeeper situation. So, the news this morning on the goalkeeper situation. What is going on here? Go away. What's this? The news on the goalkeeper situation, right. I mean, we definitely need a new goalkeeper. So Fabrizio Romano is saying that Senne Lammens has apparently said yes to Manchester United. He was keen on the move. He wants to join Manchester United. Great. Amazing. Let's get this deal done. Let's bring in this goalkeeper. Let's give him a chance. Why not? I mean, I still don't think that he's going to... I don't think he's going to outmuscle Onana, unfortunately. Although, at least if Onana puts in a stinker, there is another goalkeeper there who, you know, could, in theory, take his place. Because at the moment, we don't really have that, do we? We don't really have somebody... I know people will say, oh, what about Altay Bayindir? But I just don't think Altay Bayindir... I don't think he's good enough, to be honest. There was this obsession in the fan base that, you know, Altay Bayindir deserves a chance and all the rest of it. But is he any better than Onana? I don't think so, realistically. Maybe he's slightly better in some areas, but I think overall he's pretty much the same quality-wise. So, yeah, I don't think Altay Bayindir is the solution, realistically. But, yeah, maybe you disagree. Maybe you think he is. Let me know what your thoughts... Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Maybe you think Altay Bayindir is the solution, but for me personally, I don't think so. I mean, he's played a couple of times. He looked all right. He had one good half against Arsenal, was it? Like, was it last season he had the good game against Arsenal? Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't been signed already, the new goalkeeper, to be fair. I see a couple of people in the chat saying, like, why are they messing around? Well, obviously Altay Bayindir is going to leave, right? Altay Bayindir will go, and then we'll bring in Lammens as the backup. So, I don't know. Hopefully he's not the backup. Hopefully he does take the first team spot. His stats are really good. But, yeah. As well, I just want to have this little conversation quickly. How is everyone feeling about this Isak situation? Oh my God, it's mad. Liverpool supposedly going to pay 150 million for Isak. Mental. Like, how do we expect Ruben Amorim to succeed, right? When Liverpool have spent, what, 150 million on Wirtz, 150 million on Isak, Frimpong, Kirkez, probably someone else I've forgotten as well. Like, they'll have spent probably close to 450 million. And they're still going to keep signing players, I think. Chelsea have spent hundreds already. I just don't see how we're going to compete when we're this far behind. You know, signing 2 players it's just not enough, is it? Mad. Just waking up to the news today that Isak's apparently asked to leave. I don't know. It's mad. Oh, yeah, and Ekatike as well. Oh, my God. I forgot, yeah. So what's that? 150 on Wirtz, 150 on Isak. What was it? About 70 on Wirtz. Yeah, mate, it's crazy. But anyway, back to Manchester United. Yeah, we're obviously waiting now for some news on... Well, on the goalkeeper. We need the goalkeeper to come in. And we're waiting some news on Ollie Watkins. So hopefully, I would definitely take Ollie Watkins, just to be clear. I just don't think 60 million is reasonable. Although, did someone have a bid rejected of 60 million before? Arsenal bid for Ollie Watkins, striker rejected. I feel like Arsenal. It was Arsenal, no? How much did Arsenal bid for Ollie Watkins? Does anybody remember? Let's have a look. Yeah, so in January, Arsenal submitted a £60 million bid for Ollie Watkins. So this is on The Guardian. It says, Arsenal have £60 million bid for Ollie Watkins rejected by Aston Villa. It remains to be seen whether Arsenal will return with the second bid. That's crazy, though. So, I mean, we're all sat here saying, oh, 60 million is too much. Definitely not. Arsenal literally offered them 60 million in January and they said no. I mean, January's always a weird one. So, like, I kind of get it. And obviously they lost, whatever his name is, he went to Saudi. Duran. They lost him as well, didn't they, in the same window? So, I kind of get it. But the fact that they already rejected a £60 million bid, Doesn't pay particularly good reading, does it? It makes, yeah, it's going to be difficult. But when did Watkins play a last 90 minutes? I don't know, man. But that's mad, though, that Arsenal actually offered that and they said no. Don't be surprised Isak to Liverpool and Sesko to Newcastle. Yeah, I think that's going to happen, yeah. I think that's pretty much all but been confirmed, right? That those two deals are kind of like waiting to happen. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I've covered all the topics for my stream today. I've got lots and lots to do today, so I better go and get on. But have an amazing day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully something happens today. And I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.